Okay, Jane, you good? Good evening. This is the Board of Trustees regular meeting. The date is September 8th, 2015. It is 7:30 PM on the dot. This is meeting number 2015-17. Clerk Quinlan, please take the roll.
All right. President Barry,
Here.
Trustee Stalker,
Here.
Trustee Olenichik,
Here.
Trustee Desmond,
Here.
Trustee Carberry,
Here.
Trustee Vorder,
Here.
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Would folks rise, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Our clerk has informed me that we have no public comments today. So item 3 on the agenda is done. We're going to move to item 4, conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone on the board tonight have a conflict with any item on tonight's agenda? Thank you. Moving on, item 5. A request to approve the St. Gerald Giant Pumpkin 5K Run and Walk, Saturday, October 31st, 2015. We have folks from St. Gerald's here. Would you like to come up to the podium and tell us about the event? This is brand new, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
That's good. So if you could introduce yourself, let us know if you live in Oak Lawn, please, and tell us what's going on.
Okay, first of all, good evening, Mayor Barry, Clerk Quinlan, Board of Trustees. We're very happy to be here, happy to have this opportunity. My name is Debbie Janicki. I am the Development Director for St. Gerald Parish, and I've been an Oak Lawn resident for longer than I care to admit to, about 38 years. And with me, I have Terry Finn and Michael Blaha. They are the co-directors of the race itself. So, for the last couple of months, we have been working with Division Chief Clark, Sergeant Passetti, and Mr. Ciccarillo to prepare a safe and pleasant route for our run. And we've planned a day that's very family-focused. Our Mother's Club is going to be doing games and activities for the kids after the run. Our Holy Name Society is preparing a breakfast for the participants, and we've got all of our paperwork ready. We have our sponsor sheets ready to go, our registration packets, our flyers. All we need tonight is for you guys to give us the go-ahead, and then we'll be off and running.
Motion to
And
approve.
walking.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Olenichik, seconded by trustee Strite. And any discussion? I understand this is Halloween.
Yes, it is.
So costumes?
Costumes and a little trick-or-treating will probably be going on, too.
That sounds awesome. What a cute idea. So this is great for the whole family.
The run is for adults and, young adults and children, but we're also going to have a little pumpkin run at 10:30. So we're trying to include everybody.
That's awesome. Very good. Any other discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Okay. Thank you very much. 6 tonight is approval of meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes, 2015-16, dated August 11th, 2015. May I have a motion on item 6 tonight, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by trustee Vorder, seconded by trustee Carberry. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker,
Yes.
Trustee Olenichik,
Yes.
Trustee Desmond,
Yes.
Trustee Carberry,
Yes.
Trustee Vorder,
Yes.
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
Motion passes.
We're going to start with new business by village trustees tonight. Item 7 in District 6. Trustee Carberry.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Just briefly to thank all the volunteers for upcoming for the Fall on the Green in our district. Ed Arquilla does a great job of organizing all the volunteers and special events. Done a great job, and staff, thank you very much. Looking forward to another successful event. That's it.
Thank you. And District 5, Trustee Stalker.
Thank you. I want to mention that Oktoberfest at St. Linus is September 19th. This is their 5th annual Oktoberfest, but it's the 60th anniversary of the church and school. So I hope you can all come out. It's September 19th from 3 till 11 p.m. 2 bands in the evening. We'll have other entertainment, fun for the young kids, and we hope you can all come out. In addition to that, I'll have my first District 5 community meeting on Thursday, September 17th, from 7 till 8 p.m. at the Southside Baptist Church, 5220 West 105th Street in Oak Lawn. We'll be meeting in the auditorium of the school there. Some of the topics being discussed are the Harker Pumping Station construction, Oak Lawn Emergency Alert, Senior Security and Village Services. This is a District 5 community meeting, but I want to invite everybody in the village to come because there'll be things of interest for everyone. So please feel free to come and join us. That's it.
It's awesome. Thank you. District 4, Trustee Vorderer.
Thank you, Madam President. A couple of things. On Monday, Southtown Economist, our reporter here, Steve Mesh, did a wonderful article on the Oak Lawn Arts Commission. And what he had to say was that they would be doing their first large white acorn on display at our Fall on the Green next weekend. And it'll be seen on the main stage near the library. This is the first of many, and they hope to encourage groups and businesses to sponsor an acorn for the Acorns on Parade. To date, 6 businesses have committed to purchasing one for their display at their businesses. If you recall, the now famous Cows on Parade from the city of Chicago, the foundry that cast those, the Orlandi foundry, is the very same ones who will be casting our acorns. In the spring of 2016, an event will be planned to help do the painting of the acorns. Paint will be supplied as well as help connecting with groups to paint the images on these acorns. Now, the various businesses can paint their logos on it, but they need to incorporate some artistic form around their logos. The Arts Commission's going to have a table in the business section of Fall on the Green on Saturday and on Sunday. Please take a moment to talk to the commissioners at this booth about ways you can get involved in this project or to answer your questions about this and other plans for this very new commission, which hopes to bring art to our community. One other thing, Mayor, I have a letter here from the wives of policemen behind the badge. It's from the Illinois Auxiliary, and they're holding an event which they're calling Paint Illinois Blue on September 19th. This year, the National Thank a Police Officer Day will be recognized on Saturday, September 19th. In an effort to bring much-needed appreciation to the men and women of law enforcement, the Illinois Auxiliary of Wives Behind the Badge Incorporated is sponsoring a Paint Illinois Blue across the entire state of Illinois. In honor of the National Thank a Police Officer Day, we are asking communities across Illinois to help paint Illinois blue on September 19th, 2015. Communities are encouraged to show their pride and appreciation for their local department on 9/19 by displaying something blue. Items can include a bow, shining a blue light, or placing a supportive message on a business message board. Volunteers with the auxiliary will be selling bows in the local areas for $5. However, they're sold out, so they're already well on their way to having a successful event. So far in 2015, 83 law enforcement officers have died in the line of duty. Law enforcement officers and their families deal with the incredible stressors, and there is no end in sight. Wives Behind the Badge wishes to serve as a positive voice for the law enforcement community across the nation with events like Paint Illinois Blue. The Illinois Auxiliary, Wives Behind the Badge, is a registered not-for-profit in the state of Illinois and was established to support law enforcement officers and their families. We thank you in advance for your time. Our officers deserve to know their communities support them, and your participation is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Allison Hernandez, the director of the organization. Perhaps, Mayor, we could put this letter or something on our village website, okay?
We're
and-
already
and
on
we'll
it,
see.
and it'll be in our newsletter, and it'll be on our Facebook page and all of that.
Well,
so.
thank you very much, Mayor.
We'll get it out
That's
there.
all I have.
With respect to the Acorn, thank you for promoting that. If anyone is artistic and maybe wants to help out, we need artists, because there are plenty of businesses who want an Acorn but don't know how to do the art, or if a school group or a church group wants to get together and do it. So you need sponsors and artists.
That's correct,
So,
and that information will be available at the booth. So I encourage everybody in the village that's at the Fall of the Green to stop at that booth, and hopefully we'll have great participation
Thank you.
come the springtime, Mayor.
Thank you. District 3, Trustee Strite.
I have no new business this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Trustee Oliniechek, District 2.
Yes, I just want to remind everybody that this is the Spartan Homecoming Weekend. There's going to be a parade on Thursday, and then the kickoff for the sophomores is 4 o'clock on Friday, and the varsity, I believe, is 6:30. And then there's going to be the dance on Saturday. So hopefully the Spartans will be victorious against the Argonauts. That concludes my report.
Wow, very good, exciting. District 1, Trustee Desmond.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let people know about the newsletter you just mentioned. It's a new village newsletter called Oak Lawn Matters. It's available for anyone if they go onto the village website. And it's on the home page. It comes out the Tuesday after every board meeting. So next Tuesday is the next edition. And I would like to also invite everyone to come out to Fall on the Green this coming weekend. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Okay, Larry, Village Manager's Report.
Thank you,
Item
Mayor
A.
and Board. Item A concerns today's historic vote by the Cook County Commission. The vote was unanimous to support the pathway for our new water line. Presentation was given by the Superintendent for the Cook County Forest Preserve, Arnold Randall, and our own Commissioner John Daly gave the presentation, and the vote was unanimous. So the next step will be a document coming before you at your next meeting, prepared by our legal counsel in consultation with counsel for Cook County. But I'd like to thank Chairman Oliniechek and other members of our Public Works Committee, Trustees Carberry, Trustees Desmond, and our staff who work so closely with CDM, close to about 10 months of negotiations with the county to secure this historic project. This is probably the largest pipeline ever to be constructed through the Forest Preserve, so there was a lot of concern about protection of the natural resources in Cook County's fine Forest Preserve. We worked with the Friends of the Forest Preserve, Ben Cox, who I thanked on behalf of the mayor and the board today for his citizen support for this project. Item B, you also have quite a historic decision before you. Tonight, items 11, 12, and 13 concern the Patriot Station Connector Drive project. This is a federally funded project that will provide, long time coming, a viable connection from our Metro Garage to 95th Street for both ingress and egress for commuters. Approximately 1,000 commuters, 868 parking spaces in that garage every day use that facility to commute back and forth along the Southwest Metro line. So it's a very exciting project. It was a unanimous recommendation from your Planning Commission for approval. And then C, Mayor, I would be really remiss if I didn't share with you visually some of the great progress made this summer under your leadership. And I'd like to call our Economic Development Specialist, Mr. Steve Radis, to the podium. Steve, thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Board. Okay. Thank you again. I put together a short presentation tonight highlighting some of the progress being made in our village, in our community, including both residential and commercial, thus the phrase where community meets opportunity. It's kind of neat to see the progress visually. We're going to start with Christ Hospital. That photo you're looking at was taken back in January, late January of this year, and was just out there on Friday, and Thursday or Friday, and they've come a long way, I'd say, huh? They're starting to get the medians in, and it's really taken shape. They're doing a great job there. This is from the view looking north on Costner back in January, and then again last week. Again, come a long way. Next one is the parking garage, what it looked like back in January, and then again last week. Really taking shape. Those boxes you're looking at just to the right of the glass, which is the elevator shaft, will be full of plants and flowers, so it's going to be really pretty when it's done. And I'd just like to take a minute to thank Ken Lukart and the entire Advocate Christ Medical Center team for making Oak Lawn proud. They're doing a great job there, and we're glad that they're part of our community. Next is, again, just looking back to middle of July, what Stony Creek Promenade North looked like, and that was actually last week. There's another photo, and on each side, on the north and south side of that building, it looks as though they're going to have the same architectural roofs, I guess the roof line as actual Stony Creek does, so it's all going to blend right in, eventually looking like that. Again, we've got the original Pancake House, Pie 5, and Nothing Bundt Cakes, and we do have one small 1,300 square foot space left, and I've got a couple of businesses actually looking at that, so hopefully it'll be filled here shortly. And then again, that's the final project there. The Women's Health Institute on 95th Street, that was again taken back in January, and that was taken last week, so they've come a long way. They've got the glass in. It's really coming together. It's got like a blue tint to the glass, very pretty. Another picture. That's the walkway that you see there to the right that'll lead from the parking garage to the actual building. Again, looking at Thornton's, making some progress. That was back in mid-July. That was taken last week. Coming along, it looks like they should be open here shortly, I guess within, I think sometime in late September is the due date. And then that's what it'll look like when it's finished. And then just getting to the residential side, just a couple of houses just to see the progress. On 91st and Tully, Brendan Fox and MFM Builders. That's what it looked like a month or so ago, and that's what it looks like now, coming along good. And that's his other house right next to it. No, that's the same house, excuse me, and that's the house next to it, just to the west of it, at 5158 91st Street. That was in July, and that's what it looked like last week. So again, making great progress. And these are two houses being built across from Centennial Park on 93rd Street. We've got two separate builders. We've got Magnum Builders and Woodview Builders building separate homes, and they both look as though they're going to be beautiful homes. So great additions to our community. And on a high traffic street there on 93rd, right across from the park. So very proud of those. And that highlights my presentation. Again, I just want to thank all the builders, all the businesses for investing in our community and continuing the growth of Oak Lawn and making us all proud. Thank you.
Steve?
Yes, sir.
Mayor. Steve, in the recent past here, the Rotunda building at 95th and Costner came down, and a lot of people have asked me about what's going there, and as I've attended those meetings, it's my understanding that that'll be open green space, okay, which will give some cosmetic relief from all those buildings.
Isn't that the
okay,
truth? Yeah,
on
that's
95th
my
Street.
understanding as well,
Yeah.
Trustee Vorder.
Well, I'm going to fight for that and make sure that happens.
And I'll double check on that tomorrow, but the last I heard, it was gonna be green space as well with park benches and trees and
There'll be
tables and so
a
forth.
very, very lovely sign over there too, and the sign will be spectacular and tall.
Beautiful.
It'll be very nice.
Good. Thank
That
you.
should be pretty. And any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Mayor.
Larry, anything else? That's it?
No, Mayor. Board.
Thank you. Item 9 tonight, ordinance 151766, and ordinance amending Title II of the Oak Lawn Village Code pertaining to the creation of a local liquor advisory board. May I have a motion on 9, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by trustee Vorderer,
Second?
seconded by trustee Desmond. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Trustee Streit?
I noticed that as part of the ordinance that you had proposed that the commissioners have staggered terms. And given that this is a new commission that is actually something that you have chose to create, I would suggest that the commission appointments should sunset at the end of your term, because I don't think that staggered terms is necessary. You want to have commission members moving forward, somebody else may not.
Thank you for the input. I discussed that at length with council, and this was the decision. And that's the precedent with every other commission with the village, so. Any other discussion?
Yeah,
Trustee Stalker?
I don't see any compensation. Are they being compensated
This
at
is
all?
a volunteer commission.
Okay. So, let me understand this. You have chosen 5 people. They serve at your pleasure. You may or may not take their advice. Ultimately, you will have the authority. I'm just wondering what their purpose is.
Well, as we look at the composition of the village, it's customary before anything comes before this board that it's vetted by committees and commissions. For example, planning and development. These folks are giving citizen input, which is critical to the democratic process. I think.
Oh, wait. The democratic process would have been, you don't have to ask us permission to do any of these things.
Correct.
You can talk to these people right now. I'm just wondering why you're asking us to approve what you're gonna
If I
do.
can weigh in, Mayor.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
Trustee Carberry.
Yeah, it's, you know, of course, the mayor still has, I'll just give an example, and the mayor and I discussed this previously. And I'm not gonna mention the establishment, but, you know, a lot of these things I may hear about, and you may hear about, because you're a village trustee, right? Mayor might not hear of everything that's going around in the different districts. A lot of times they won't mention them to them unless they know you, right? And this is just a way, and as it was discussed, as it was described to me, is just to get the feelers out there and the direction we're going. And it's a volunteer position. It's I think it's positive input. You know, it doesn't take any authority away from the mayor. The mayor just wants more information, more good ambassadors out there, more community involvement. I think it's a positive thing overall. And I think that's the
Certainly.
purpose of it.
I just want to point out that under the state statute, the mayor does have the power to create a chairman and may appoint persons to assist him or her in the exercise of the powers and performance of the duties for the local control commissioner. The board here still retains the power about the number of licenses, and so you're not giving up anything that you have.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we're giving anything up. I just don't understand why we have to give the mayor permission. I don't understand it.
You know, I think what we wanted to do, and that, again, I agree that, you know, that there is a way to do it without an ordinance. The purpose of the ordinance is to codify it. Most of our commissions are all codified in the village, and I thought out of an abundance of prudence and caution, so it's clearly defined in our code what the purposes and the mission of the commission is, that we would codify it. And that's why we put an ordinance before the board.
Well, the purpose isn't dictated here, except to talk to the mayor. The people aren't, the qualifications of the people, I don't know whether we're expected to approve these people, but I don't know them. I'm sure they're wonderful people, but I just don't understand. I can't fathom what the mayor gains. Maybe you can tell me.
Well, you get quite a bit of feedback and help. For example, should one person have the authority to remove a license from a business? If someone is not complying over and over, repeatedly causing problems, presently I have the authority to just yank that license.
This does not change it.
Correct, but it provides important citizen input, and it assists me with recommendations to you.
Let me make a recommendation.
I think it enhances the transparency of the process. I think it's very helpful.
Let me make a suggestion.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, I honestly don't know the folks on here. I'm sure they're great people. But how long they've lived in the village of Oak Lawn doesn't qualify them to be on a liquor commission. You should have a police officer or someone with law background. You should have some type of business owner. There are plenty of business owners, tavern owners.
We do have business owners, and I think a tavern owner would be a conflict of interest.
A business outside of Oak Lawn, who live in Oak Lawn. You should probably have a clergyman. You probably should have somebody with some psychology background. And, you know, I would say this is a wonderful idea. You know, have meeting minutes taken, operated exactly the same as other commissions. I never saw any teeth in this. So I don't know why I should approve
it's just
you're
another-
doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's just another layer of just doing it. And as our council said, you know, you want it to be clear. If someone's looking up in the code, I want to look this up, it should correlate then with ordinances. That's their recommendation.
I don't see the advantages, all I'm telling you.
There's no disadvantage or advantage. To me, to do it without this process would not be transparent.
You can do it right now. Why don't you grab somebody who has some information about how to run a tavern business? Tavern owners want to play with a level playing field. They want to be able to go to somebody and say, I'm going to operate my business legitimately. Please help me get this guy who is not operating legitimately to do that as
Thank
well.
you.
And I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I
I don't want the tavern owners determining who gets a liquor license in our village. I
That-
respect your respect your perspective, especially with respect to the legal aspect. Feedback in that would be great, but we have legal counsel for that as well. And I think the citizens of Oak Lawn overall do a great job on these committees and commissions, with rare exception. They give their all and it's volunteer, and it makes our village better, makes it more democratic, and, you know, you don't have to even vote on this if you don't choose to, but I think if I did this without coming before the board to do it, you would be crying, where's the transparency? So, maybe not
Well,
you, but others.
No, this is public comment period, and that's what I'm making, and I think it's a great opportunity for you to do it right. Why don't you pick some people that have backgrounds in the business and make a good liquor commission? Those are my comments.
Well, let me address that. Cheryl Daly does have her own business, sir, and she's been involved with.
What is it?
It is a painting business. And it's not her primary source of income, but it is her own business. Jan Getz also has her own business.
What business is that?
She is also with the library for 24 years.
Okay.
She runs a home-based business, as many women do, selling Avon products, and that's not the business you're thinking of. Chuck Miller is a union cement finisher. I thought that was important to have a working-class person representing, again, the values of this community. Mr. Shiner, Greg, he is a resident since 1982. He owns a business.
What kind of business is it?
An insurance business.
I think that's very important, by the way.
And he also is involved in the Parks Foundation. Mr. Daly also owns a business. The only one who does not own a business on this list is Mr. Miller. And he's fairly familiar with the business community.
All right, don't get me wrong. I am not opposing your commission. I just don't see why you're asking us to approve a commission that does nothing
Yeah.
different than you can do right now.
Yeah, I'm not asking.
And you can talk to anybody.
Yeah, thank you, Bud. I appreciate that feedback.
Mayor?
And trustee Warder.
Yeah, I just want to weigh in, Bud. You know, I had some of those same questions you had, and I think I responded to the press when they called me about who was on this commission and what authority this commission would have, because I believe that the authority in controlling our liquor establishment in this town should belong to the mayor. But I don't see any problem with anybody taking advice when they make their decision. And when I got the packet and I saw what she was proposing here, my questions were answered, because I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any problem with her asking people for their ideas, their support, and recommendations. But I want her to be the ultimate arbitrator on these issues, particularly when we have violations of our liquor code, not so much with a new license application. And Mayor, I would like to say that I would like to see quick response as a police officer. When you have a major incident in one of these taverns, I don't want to see a bureaucracy postpone the decision for 6 weeks. One of the things that we've enjoyed for many, many years is that you, as the mayor or the previous mayors, could make a really quick decision and send a strong message that the village doesn't tolerate that. I do know some of the people on your list, and I know they're great people and they'll do a fine job. One of them, Greg Shiner, is here in the audience tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greg, do you want to come up and introduce yourself? Thank you. And Greg, you and I talked at length about this. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself for the edification of our board members
Sure.
who
My
may
name is
not
Greg
have the pleasure
Shiner.
of knowing you?
I'm
Thank
a
you.
resident of Oak Lawn for 33 years. I do own my own business. It's State Farm Insurance Agency. I value the makeup of this community. I've raised my family here. And quite honestly, you know, I look forward to providing some valuable insight into the issues that come up with liquor establishments that serve liquor.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
I do, Mayor, yes.
Trustee Straight.
Thank you. So, I guess first of all, you said you value the democratic process, and I'm wondering, did this issue go before any committee in the village?
It doesn't need to per state statute, but I do want to make it clear at a board meeting.
Sorry?
At a board meeting such as this.
It didn't go through a committee, though?
Well,
Such
as
the
liquor
legislative
commissioner, it's
committee?
not required.
I didn't ask if it's required, I just asked if
Okay.
it went through a committee process. The answer is no, okay. All right, and how about the committee, the whole? You didn't feel that it was necessary to bring it before the board,
Correct.
before you brought it here? Okay.
Correct, because certain times when we would have the committee of the whole, it was turned into a circus. And I felt it would be more effective to make the introduction to the concept at the last meeting, request feedback and input, and for those trustees who provided that, I'm very appreciative, and then it's discussed again in open forum. And I
So-
feel this is good government.
Okay, so are you concerned, let's say, some of the biggest issues that come before you as liquor commissioner would certainly be the idea of disciplining a liquor license holder. And I guess, you know, the one thing that I wonder about is as the mayor and liquor commissioner, of course, you have the responsibility to make those decisions on behalf of the community. Does this by any chance provide you like insulation for, let's say, when somebody that you're associated with that has a liquor license has a disciplinary issue, that you don't then have to make that call? You can say that the commission made it, for
What are you
instance?
saying there, Trustee Straight?
Exactly what I said.
Can you be more specific? I don't quite understand.
Well, okay, let's say you had one of your top political advisors, for instance, who had a relative who had a liquor license, who had a violation. Would you then feel like you didn't?
Are you speaking about the liquor, the state liquor commission sting,
No, I'm
which required in legal action on every person involved on the state level? There
Okay.
were 3 businesses in that sting that were affected. 3,
Okay,
okay? And all 3 were disciplined by the state.
how about, but, so
All
they-
3,
Did you
all
take any
3.
action on any of them?
because
Did you hold any hearings?
as the liquor commissioner, you could have weighed in. I'd appreciate feedback from any trustee regarding these businesses. It was determined after taking 3 businesses to the mat for violations, that if they were already violated, this is with legal counsel, that if they were already disciplined by the state as a first infraction, that was adequate. And that is my determination to make as liquor commissioner. I think people should not be penalized twice for one problem. For example, if someone's pulled over for a ticket, they get the ticket, they shouldn't have to pay for the ticket then in the county if they're paying in the village. That's not the way government should work. And that was my determination for all three businesses. Regardless of who owns what, each person's treated fairly. And if you have anything to say otherwise, you need to say it publicly and not anonymously as you do.
Well, how long after those violations did the state take action?
That was determined by the state, and I don't have the exact information.
No, but you never
Chief
took
Murray might know.
You never took action.
Chief, do you recall on that sting, there were three businesses affected. It was the underage drinking sting. It was probably winter of 2013, spring 2014, right around there. Do you remember how long the state would take to prosecute?
Those tickets were handled in the village.
Oh, they were? Okay. When I discussed it with you, though, it was a state sting, and that was...
They sponsored it, and if a violation occurred, then we issued the ticket.
Okay.
But the state.
So it would be incorrect, and this was discussed with council, Trustee Straight, and if any point you have an issue, you can discuss it with me personally. That would be great.
I can't
And
discuss it here?
you can discuss it anywhere you want, Trustee Straight.
Okay.
I'd prefer to discuss it face-to-face rather than see it posted anonymously in a slanderous fashion like you'd like to do. With that, any other discussion
Yeah, I just
on
want to
this
make two
item?
things clear. Number one, the commissions and committees in this village do a great job, okay? I really appreciate their help. But number two, when you're establishing a group like this, why don't you get some teeth into the ordinance, give them direction in public, and establish a strong group? With that, I'll be quiet.
Thank you. Yes, and then we're going to call the vote.
Yeah, I agree with that. First of all, the mayor has this, I think it's being a little overdone. The mayor already leans on the village manager, leans on the chief of the police, staff. Simply wanted to get 5 very credible, thank you for being here, very credible people from the community. Don't have to be bar owners, don't have to be, these are credible people, residents that have an opinion that matters.
No doubt.
And I think it's good to get their opinions and to get a community involvement and the community opinion, good for them. So I'm sorry Bob doesn't feel that way, but I think having strong community people involved is important. And I think you feel that way. And I think that's all the mayor's doing. Not trying to, not trying to shy away from her authority, not trying to say, well, they told me to do it. She's not changing anything. The mayor's still gonna have the authority, he's gonna make the decisions, gonna continue to weigh with the police and the village manager and staff. And we just have 5 great people that wanna volunteer and help out, and part of the community, and know the community. So I think it's a positive thing. I think it's being a little overdone, and I think we should call the vote.
Let's call the vote. Thank you.
Trustee Stalker?
Abstain.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Streit?
No.
Thank you.
Motion passes 4-1-0.
Thank you very much. Item 10 is ordinance 151767, an ordinance setting forth the correct bid amount of Joseph J. Henderson and Son and approving said bid pursuant to the Booster Stations 1 and 2 Improvements Project. This is the 2013 Regional Water System Improvements. Let's have a motion, please, on item
Motion to
10.
approve.
Okay, I'm going to give it to Trustee Stalker that time
Second.
and seconded by Trustee Oliniechek. Any discussion?
I just want to mention that this is a correction. This is not a change. This is still the low bidder. One item was not included in the last approval, so we have to do it again. That's all.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
We're on 11 tonight. This is a request to approve the Planning and Development Commission referral to install a traffic signal at 95th Street and 50th Court. This is Museum Drive, petition 2015-17. This is a 7-0 vote to approve in District 3. May I have a vote on item 11, please?
Motion to approve.
Okay, I'm going to give it to Trustee Vorder for motion, seconded by Trustee Desmond. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Trustee Straight.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, first of all, back when the parking garage was initially proposed, so this would be going back many years, the suggestion was made, at the time, when people would, we had it was a surface parking lot, and when people would exit the parking lot, they would travel literally in every single direction imaginable. And that would be several side streets heading due south, taking some going east and west, and then heading down those streets. So there was a lot of neighborhood traffic, and I actually had told the board that I would support the parking garage if the traffic would be diverted to 95th Street. And I was told at that time that it would be, and then once the garage was built, there was a petition, I guess, or you know, some effort made to put a light at the Museum Drive interchange at 95th Museum Drive, and we were not allowed to put that light there because of its proximity to the railroad crossing. So there's been years of work and planning, essentially by the village manager, I would say, to put a light down further east, and this particular decision will culminate, I believe, in providing what has been, while the many people do exit the lot and head, now they have to go to 52nd Avenue, and some people go to 95th Street. My hope is that everybody will have to go to 95th Street with the installation of this light, which is the way it should have been and the way it will be. And it will provide relief, especially for those people on 52nd Avenue who when a train lets off, that street is about as busy as they get, and it's hard to cross. So I think it's a public safety issue, it's a quality of life issue, and it's essentially it's just good. It's a very good decision for the community. So I just want to say thank you for bringing that to fruition. So I support it.
Trustee Vorder.
Yeah, I attended all the P&D meetings on the presentations on this. The final conclusion I walked away from the meetings is this is the finishing of a 10-year, maybe 12-year TIF project. And I think when it's all done, Bob, I think it's going to relieve a lot of your concerns. It's going to direct that traffic to 95th Street, and we will add an additional cosmetic improvement to 95th Street as a result. It's going to maybe result in, again, a little more green space there. It's good, I think.
Thank you. Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Board.
12 is ordinance 151768, an ordinance approving the placement of a traffic signal at the intersection of 95th Street and 50th Court. May I have a motion on 12, please?
Motion to
approve.
Okay, I'm going to give that to Trustee Vorder, and I heard a second maybe on that side. Trustee Desmond. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
13, Resolution 151741, a resolution approving a Phase 2 engineering proposal from ACOM Technical Services pursuant to the placement of a traffic signal at 95th Street and 50th Court. May I have a motion on item 13?
Motion approved.
Properly moved by Trustee Stalker,
I'll second it.
seconded by Trustee Vorder. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Strike?
Yes.
Motion passes.
14 is Resolution 151742, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of subrecipient agreements between the Village of Oak Lawn and South Suburban PADS. PADS stands for Public Action to Deliver Shelter, relative to the use of Community Development Block Grant funds for the Emergency Shelter Assistance Program of said subrecipient. May I have a motion on 14, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Stalker.
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay.
Give it Alex.
Trustee Olenichek was the second. Any discussion?
Mayor,
Trustee Desmond?
no, I know I actually spoke to you earlier today about this. You know, and we spoke about the people at the library, that it can be intimidating for people to walk in there, but a lot of homeless people.
Yeah.
I mean,
So the PEDS program, it's a different church opening their doors each night to the homeless community, and they view it as a service and humanitarian project. This has been going on for a number of years. I don't know the year it started, but at least 8 or 9 years in the community. It runs October 1st through, I believe, April 1st, some thereabouts, March 31st, somewhere in there. And right now, folks are noticing homeless out and about, and as the cool weather comes, they'll have a place to go.
but I mean, do these churches provide any place for them, you know, daytime? I mean,
No.
are they just kicking them out and closing the doors in the morning?
Well, that's unfortunately the case, yeah.
But during the, Trustee Desmond, Mayor, may I?
Yes.
During the summertime, there isn't a PADS program. So there is no program from the month of April, May, June, July, August, September. It doesn't start up to October.
This program was started to preserve life. It is, no one wants to see people freeze to death in the streets, and I was astonished the number of people moving through the PADS program. It's hundreds in this area.
But Madam Mayor,
Families, kids.
the issue does come from what are we doing with the homeless that are going through the village at this time? It seems that there are public places that they seem to be hanging out in. I know that I've talked to the village manager and yourself about this, and you know, what are we, this is totally separate off of this, totally different program, but what are we as a village able to do to address that problem?
Yeah. You can work together with the agencies involved, be alert if you see a problem, you know, we could address the problem as it comes up. We're working with the library, and they've been very responsive to our discussions, and I know that they're talking about it internally also. So, you know, the bigger issue of homelessness in the area stems from, unfortunately, state cutting of mental health facilities. And folks who have no capability to take care of themselves are cast to the street. It's a dastardly and despicable kind of thing, but that's the reality, unfortunately. So I know in Chicago Heights, the PADS program has a year-round facility. There's some interest in making more of these. No one knows how to pay for them or where to put them, but no one likes to see people with circumstances like this.
So these are funded entirely by, this is funded entirely by the, this program, right?
This program and church donations and volunteer efforts, yeah. And so the folks will come in the evening. They have a breathalyzer test to be admitted, and they are given a hot meal, a warm bed, and then in the morning they get a little bag of food for lunch or breakfast, whatever, and they're on their way.
Mayor, can I clarify something?
Yes, sir.
We are giving $10,000 from block grant funds to PADS. I think that it's very important to understand that we are not funding the increase in homeless people in the village of Oak Lawn. I think it's a big problem. I think we have to work with it, but it's really separate from this.
That is
This
correct.
gives PADS the opportunity to get some funding to the extent of $10,000, and that's why I would like to approve it. Beyond that, we can go a lot further if we can find the funds or the community organizations to help them beyond the winter months.
With
But the truth about the PADS program, especially with what Pilgrim Faith does, it's more than just an overnight program. Pilgrim Faith is one of the few PADS programs in the village that has family-oriented overnight. They also have job retraining. They have medical that they provide, and they also have a group of people that provide clothes and help people for being prepped for job interviews, and they've had some very good stories through it. So there are two sides to what the PADS program does.
Yes,
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mayor, I
Trustee
volunteer
Gordon.
for the Patch program once a month at Salem Church, 97th and Caution, both me and my wife. And I think every month we see about 18 to 30, mostly women. In fact, it's all women, okay? Yeah, some with their children. They're fed well by all volunteers. There's no dollars involved. The church participates, as Alex said. Same, Alex, they don't have an extensive as program as you, but they do help out beyond the 6 at night till 8 in the morning thing. So it's a good program. I'm happy to be part of it personally, and I'm happy as a trustee to pass on dollars from this grant to that program.
Thank you. Yeah, and volunteers like you make sure that when folks are asleep, that it's quiet,
Right,
safe.
right. I provide
and,
security.
Exactly, secure. And think of if you never are secure and you never have that feeling, how important the role of those volunteers are. So, okay, let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
Yes.
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
Motion passes.
So 15 is Resolution 151743, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a sub-recipient agreements between the Village of Oak Lawn and Plows Council on Aging relative to the use of Community Development Block Grant funds for the Shared Housing Assistance Program of said sub-recipient. May I have a motion on 15, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Stalker.
Second.
I'm going to give it to Trustee Carberry. Any discussion here?
I just hope that we're not going to tell old people that we got too many of them,
We
because
take-
I'm one of them.
Yeah, we take it personal, don't we? But
Thank you. Let's call that vote.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
yes,
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
Motion passes.
16 is Resolution 151744, a resolution approving the First Amendment to the intergovernmental agreement with Cook County pertaining to the Central Avenue and Southwest Highway Improvement Project. May I have a motion, please, on item 16?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Oliniechek, seconded by Trustee Carberry. Any discussion on this item?
Again, point of information, this is a lighted sign at the intersection. Is that correct?
That is correct.
It's
Lighted street sign.
awesome and beautiful and big. Yes,
it's already up. I
Yes.
went through it today. It's there.
looks great. Trustee Oliniechek, any story? Okay, let's move on. Let's call that vote.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
Yes,
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
Motion passes.
So this brings us to item 17, which is Resolution 151745, a resolution approving the proposal of CDM Smith for professional engineering services pertaining to asset management for the Regional Water System Improvement Project. May I have a
Motion
motion
approved.
on 17, and we have it properly moved by
Second.
Trustee Oliniechek, seconded by Trustee Carberry. Any discussion here? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
Yes.
Carberry. Sorry, Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
yes,
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 18 is Resolution 151746, a resolution authorizing a lease for various electronic equipment with Panasonic Marlin Business Services. May I have a motion on 18?
Motion to approve.
Okay, I'm going to give that to Trustee Stalker, and I think Trustee Desmond, you were in stereo that time?
Yep.
Okay. As a second, any discussion? Let's take that vote.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Alanichek.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Carberry.
Yes.
Trustee Vorder.
yes,
Trustee Strike.
Yes.
Motion passes.
19 is Resolution 151747, a resolution to waive the competitive bidding requirements and to approve a proposal from Protec pertaining to the purchase of police department gas masks. May I have a motion on 19, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by Trustee Oliniechek.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Stalker. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Motion passes.
20 tonight is our village clerk's report. Jane, you have the floor.
Disbursement Resolution Number 2015-16D, dated August 25th, 2015, in the amount of $2,874,190.52.
May I have a motion on item 22A, please?
Motion to pay the bill.
Properly moved by trustee Vorderer,
Second.
seconded by trustee Carberry. Any discussion? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight?
Yes.
Motion passes. And B, disbursement resolution number 2015-17D, dated September 8th, 2015, in the amount of $11,636,105.38.
Thank you. May I have a motion on 20B, please?
Motion to approve.
Properly moved by trustee Desmond, seconded by trustee Carberry. Any discussion here? Let's take that vote, please.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Alanichuk?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Carberry?
Yes.
Trustee Vorder?
Yes.
Trustee Straight? One
Yes.
more thing, Mayor. Okay, C, General Village Matters is, this message is from resident and Boy Scout Representative Bill Egan. Bill's a resident of District 3, and for my 10 years as clerk, I've watched Bill and his wife Rita do so much for Scouts. They're at everything, and it's greatly appreciated. But here's a little message. The Boy Scouts are hosting a sign-up night on Thursday, September 17th, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. at all of the elementary schools in Oak Lawn. Sign-up tables will be set up either out in front of the schools or in their lobby. The boys that sign up will receive a free rocket, and on the morning of October 3rd, it's a Saturday, all new Cub Scouts will blast off their new rockets at Oak Lawn's Rocket Park. Sounds like a great event. So come
Sounds
on out,
awesome.
Scouts. That's
Sounds
it.
awesome. Thank you. Okay, 21, Village President's Report. 21A is Liquor Commission appointments, and I'm just going to read these off. Cheryl Daly, Jan Getz, Charles, also known as Chuck Miller, Mr. Greg Shiner, Larry Daly, and the two Dalys are spelt the same but no relation whatsoever. So just sending that out for informational purposes. Under General Village Matters, oh, and I want to congratulate all of them and thank them as well for stepping up. Trustee Desmond's comments regarding the village newsletter are spot on. The village newsletter comes out twice a month. It is, if you want to know what's going on in Oak Lawn that's factual and positive, check it out. If you're getting Everbridge community alerts, you can sign up on the village website and click in your preferences to receive those newsletters. They can come by text, email, or you could go to the website or the Facebook page. We're getting the newsletter out there. If anyone has trouble signing up or getting information, we'd be happy to talk them through it at the executive offices. If they call 708-499-7740, we'd be happy to help them, me or my assistant, Carmi. National Safety Week is coming up. There'll be a celebration in conjunction with the Oak Lawn Emergency Management Agency and Kmart on Saturday, September 26th and Sunday, September 27th. Details will follow, but it's National Preparedness Month, and things like signing up for Everbridge, getting a radio, an emergency radio, all of these things that we ask residents to do, make a safety plan. It's a good time to sit down and review with your family. Are you getting these things done? Ready.gov has lots of tips for families. If you can't make the event at Kmart, we'd love to see everyone come out. Trustee Vorder, thank you for the police recognition. We don't thank our officers often enough. Come on out to Fall on the Green. The guys are setting up, and I don't know how they got so far in the rain, Larry. It's amazing. The tents are going up, and the corn stalks are going up. It is going to be fun, so come on out. And lastly, I'm wearing my Oak Lawn Rotarian hat. The Oak Lawn Rotary Club would like to invite everyone to come out for a memorial of the events of September 11th on Patriot Day, which is September 11th, at Patriot Station, which is our Metro train station, at 9:11 in the morning. We'll have a brief memorial, and everyone is welcome. Nice to bring the kids if you can. It is a Friday, so kids are probably in school, but this is a tradition the Rotary Club has been doing, and Chief Sheets, thank you for your leadership with that. Our past president of the Rotary Club right there, Chief Sheets. With that, I think that's all my posties. I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Motion
Trustee Oliniechek and Trustee Carberry. Any discussion?
Nope.
Let's take that vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone.
8:30.
It is 8:30 on the dot.